So let's talk about the security in Octopus Deploy. If you install the Octopus Deploy for small teams, which is basically the free version of Octopus Deploy, you can create multiple users. However, every user that you define will have admin access. But if you are using a paid version of Octopus Deploy, or if you use Octopus Deploy on the cloud, then you can have different roles and groups with different permissions. Let's have a look at the existing roles first. So Octopus Deploy comes with a whole bunch of roles. Normally, you don't need to create custom roles because there are plenty of roles with enough coverage for permissions. For example, you have release creators that are users that are allowed to create a release. Creating a release is more like signing off for a deployment. You normally give it to your tech leads or to whoever that signs off on deployments. Project viewer is for people who just need to view the project. Project lead is, for example, the tech lead of your team. They can create release, they can create users and everything, but they cannot deploy the project. In order to deploy a project, you can grant the role of project deployer to a user. For example, say in your company, your head of engineering or someone with authority can create a release, which is, as I said, equal to signing off a release. And then a person that has the project deployer role can deploy it. Now that person doesn't have to be a developer, doesn't have to be a technical person. For example, a project manager that directly talks to the client, for example, can go and deploy the project when they agree with the client on the deployment, something like that. So the main roles are release creator and project deployer and project lead. Now you assign the roles to users. Users can be individual users or they can be part of teams. So there are 4 teams that come out of the box. Everyone is basically everyone. Octopus administrators have access to do everything. Octopus managers have system permissions to given space, and a space manager can manage the projects and users within a space. Obviously, to create a team, you can click on add a team and provide a name. For example, we can say my team. And a team can be limited to a given space, or you can provide access and availability to all spaces. So if you want to say this space is only for a specific team, then you can say they have access to this space. Now, in order to add members, you can click on add members and click on this drop down, and you can choose the user that you want. And also, if you click on user roles, you can provide a role to every member of this team. So you can click on include user role, and we can say every person in this team is basically just a project viewer. They don't have much access. And we click on save. And if you want to rename your team, you just go to the settings tab. Likewise, if you want to create users, you go to the users tab, click on add user, provide a user. For example, we can say user 1. You can provide email address and a password. And you click on save. Sorry, I forgot the display name. Let's say user 1. And now we have your users. And you can add this user to a specific team and then provide roles as I showed you. One thing you can do with the users is that if you want to see what this user has done so far, you can go to this 3-dot button and then see the audit trail, and then any activity that this user has done will come up on this list. For example, let's try this on admin user, and if we do this with the admin user, because I've been always using the admin user, you see that I've done so many activities and it's all logged. So this is a good security feature. If you want to see who has done what, you can come and see it in here. Also, if you want to see basically a larger list of audit trails, you can go to configuration menu. On the left side there is audit, and this shows all the activities that has happened within, for example, today, last 7 days, last 30 days, and it shows you which user has done which activity and at which time. So you can use a combination of spaces, teams, roles, and users plus audit to make sure that right user has access to right project and they can perform the right actions. Right now, with what you have learned, you can set up Octopus Deploy, you can set up teams and roles, and then you can set up fairly complicated projects. So we should be done with Octopus Deploy level 2 as well. If you have any questions, send your questions in the QA section of the course, and I will try to respond as soon as possible.